Welcome back to Hope High School and the fifth and final game of the AJO4 Lacrosse Festival. We have the host Pope Greyhounds taking on the defending 5A state champion and undefeated Westminster Wildcats. I'm Ned Case alongside Connor Squires. Thanks for tuning in here on Lacrosse Fire TV. Connor, two teams that made deep runs last year. Obviously Westminster winning 5A, Pope falling just short in the finals to Lambert, coached by head coach Carl Paff. What are you expecting to see out of the game today?
I'm expecting to see, a high-flying, tight game. We'll see how early out, if teams want to push it, we'll see what the game plan is. It could be methodical. It could be a 7-6 game. It could be a 13-14 game. We'll see what happens right out the gate.
And for Westminster, Coach Tony Souza, been pacing the sidelines for Westminster for quite some time. Certainly a well-known figure in the Georgia lacrosse community. And for Pope, big things to expect out of goalie Michael Oswald, the senior. When he's on fire, and he's going to need to play well. As you see here, as we highlight some of other Pope's leading scorers, Matt Oswald, the freshman, 15 goals. Chris Hadlow, the senior, 14 goals, and Metzinger with 17. And the first possession of the game goes to the Wildcats, and they can't handle the opening pass. Ball's on the ground. We've seen this pretty common sloppy first quarter play at this event today, and we see it again here as Westminster will turn the ball over on their first possession.
Right, Pope, they are the home team here. The other teams that played here, they are playing at a neutral site. Let's see if they can't take advantage here at home quickly.
And ball is going to be cleared here by the short stick for the Greyhounds. That's number 11, Evan Conley. And he's going to lose the ball out of bounds. Good ride there. That was number 13, Jack Patton, the junior, 16 goals on the year. You see him getting it done in the riding game right there.
And Conley just trying to do too much there. You always have an extra open guy when you're clearing the ball. You have an extra guy. Maybe move that ball, see if you can't get to the backside.
And carrying with the ball on his stick right now is number 9, Henry Parker. He'll get it over into the stick of Jack Patton, who we just talked about. Patton, the lefty attackman, bullying his way. Big save there by Oswald. Rebound going to be picked up by Chase Williams. Williams, a senior, headed to Princeton next year. And here you go, hands free, doesn't put it on Cage. Good look there for Chase Williams to open the game, but could not bury it, and they're going to say backup goes to Pope as they were closest to the ball.
Yeah, huge windup there by the future Ivy League product, number 21 in green. Let's see if they can clear the ball here.
And Matt Johnson will take it up this time, another short stick. And looks like Westminster's going to do the same thing, double the ball with 2 attackmen, and they force it into a Pole's hand, which is what they want. And does not look comfortable handling the ball. That was number 12, Carter Brown. And coming down in transition, ball is finally corralled there by number 6, Logan Devereux. And going in transition, nice outlet pass. They're pushing. It's number 19, Nick Burns. He's going to throw it away as a little bit of a trail check there came from number 20, Sam Woodhouse. And Burns is down on the turf, slow getting up. He took a hit there in transition.
Down for Pope.
Yeah, Grant Ansley kind of came there with a shoulder. Could have been late. Wasn't called. Might have got him right there in the chin, though. He's up on his feet, though.
So maybe a little bit of a bell. It looked like he just pointed to his chest right there saying the wind got knocked out of him. So I would expect to see Burns back on the field later as he walks off and gets a nice round of applause from everyone here at Pope High School. Pope coming to the game 7-1. Their only loss to Apex, this team from North Carolina that won the public school state championship last year. Certainly a team that can play. As you see on the screen, they had a big win over Mill Creek 17-7 earlier in the week, a team that people thought was a contender. I believe they were ranked 4th in the Georgia Lacrosse News top 10, so a good win there for the Greyhounds. As Westminster kind of struggling to clear the ball, they'll get the ball to their goalie, Tyler Bass, the junior, most likely a future Division I player, if not high Division II, Division III. Goalie can really make plays. And so Westminster will look to touch it in, and they do as the ball is in the stick of Henry Parker. He'll swing it behind. That's Fitzharris. And coming out of the box, seeing his first time on the field, it's number 35 for the Wildcats.
Westminster here in an open set. Drop down with a little two-man game.
DeVroe working top side, and good defense there by number 18 for the Greyhounds. That was Debuse Boone. Excuse me, Bean. And look inside, easy finish there as number 13, Jack Patton, found his fellow attackman, number 10, Cope Fitzharris.
Right there, starts with a good clear, a good possession, good team offense. Someone got lost backside. You can tell these guys have been working with each other for a while.
And for Patton, that is his 9th assist of the year. A lefty really getting it done. You know, all good attack units need a lefty who can just play in his natural position on that left side, and Patton seems to be that guy for the Wildcats. Only a junior. I expect him to do that for another year next year. And big whacks there, not called. Hand is up. Let's see if they get a push. They will. And the ball called a push. Did not see him indicate which way the ball was going. And looks like it's going to go to Westminster. So number 22, John Farley, will pick it up. Farley headed to Holy Cross next year. So another Division I commit for the Wildcats. And he'll get it back and get the ball knocked loose. Picked up there by Parker.
Gotta get a touch.
Westminster clears. So these two teams look just kind of feeling each other out here in the first 3 minutes of the game. 1-0 Westminster, 8:45 remaining in the first quarter. Farley carries across the top. Playing out of a 2-1-3 if you're counting from behind. And Farley's going to give it a go. He's checked there by the long pole for the Greyhounds. That's Alex Linton. And they're going to go behind Patton again, looking to turn the corner with his left hand. Big save there by Oswald. And a good play by DeVroe. Oswald had it clamped, but outside the crease, he just went under the stick and knocked it loose. But a violation will give the ball to Pope. And here we see Pope bringing their short sticks back every time to clear the ball. I don't know if they don't trust their poles to handle or just like the athleticism of their midfielders.
Yeah, you know, they haven't had their first possession yet. Here 8 minutes into the first quarter. Only 1 goal deficit. Really look for Pope to really slow this one down.
And Chris Hadlow touches it in. And here is Pope's first possession. The midfield is Jack Regetz, number 28, Sam Borrell. And on the far side of the field, that's number 24, Bryce Barnhill. Carry behind. Ball in the stick of Sam Metzinger. 17 goals on the year for the Greyhounds. Probably their top attackman, at least the quarterback of their offense. And they're going to go for a straight ahead dodge from up top. That's Barnhill rolling to his right down the alley. Good defense there by Chase Williams. And they'll swing to the far side. Westminster doing a good job, slow to go, winning their individual one-on-one matchups as they're known to do under Coach Souza. And skip across the top, Ludlow with a little bit of a hitch. Left-handed shot. Wide.
It looks like Pope, you know, they may not have a big guy that can run downhill, but they like to move the ball. They let the ball do the work to create their offense.
Excuse me, that was Hadlow, not Ludlow. And attacking from behind, it's Metzinger. He's going to get to his right hand, try to work to 5-and-5. Good defense there by number 24, Truman Jones. And now they'll tack up the left side in the stick of Oswald, the freshman. And Rain Schomburger, Wesleyan's top defender, who's going to go play at Duke, is not playing today. He is injured, so we'll see how that affects Westminster and how Pope decides to attack, you know, from the attack position without their top defenseman out there.
And right now, you know, everyone watching at home, watch Westminster's off-ball defense. Everyone's accounted for.
Hadlow loses his feeding there, and they'll get the ball to Bass and look for a clear. Westminster, they're going to get some transition, but the ball could not be handled there by Williams, and a good ground ball there by Pope to save possession. Bryce Barnhill picks it up.
Cleared by the Greyhounds.
And Barnhill's going towards the goal. Can't find any room. And not really sure if that was a feed or a shot to the inside, but
Bryce Barnhill.
and I think they're going to get Westminster for using a free hand there. So Pope, long possession here. Hasn't gotten a shot on goal yet, but gotten a few shots off as we approach the midway point of the first quarter here. Westminster still the only team on the board as Fitzharris found the back of the net for the Wildcats.
Yeah, like I said, before the ball got changed, Westminster's interior defense, everyone's accounted for. There's always a 2-slide, and there's even a 3-slide to help. A lot of good communication with the guys in green.
And coming off a pick, getting to the middle of the field, shot high. That was Jack Regitz.
Sells wide.
Didn't look as comfortable shooting with his left hand there. So now they'll get it behind to Matthew Oswald as Pope will sub on a fresh midfielder, get some fresh legs, see if they can't beat this Westminster defense. Looks like they'll go 1-for-1 out of the midfield. As number 11 comes in first, Evan Conley. And now Regitz will come out, and number 9, Cole Tyson, will come into the game.
Still looking for someone on Pope to really blow by somebody and create offense here. Having a tough job initiating.
So they get the ball on the stick of Hadlow. He's going to look to dodge from the wing, but he'll move it on behind the goal to number 9, Cole Tyson, just checked into the game. Tyson's going to give it a go, rolls back to his left, heads up, one more pass ahead, saved by Bass. Ball's loose in front of the goal, and it's going to be picked up briefly by Westminster. Hadlow finds it after his shot and does a good job of pulling it out to regain possession. So a nice save there by Bath, but the rebound's going to give Pope another opportunity.
And it starts with Cole Tyson. What did he do? He took it hard to the net. Draw the double, and they got a great look.
Hadlow shot, stick side hit. Bass was all over it. Now the ball on the stick of Evan Conley. Pope kind of not very methodical, not even really moving the ball. It seems like they know that Westminster is going to be slow to slide, so they're just going to work to find their best matchup for the best spot on the field. And here's Conley working nice physical slide there by the Wildcats. And a flag is down.
A flag on the play.
Let's see if they're going to see if they call it illegal or a slash here. And they're going to get a technical. So Pope will go on the man up here, and a good chance for them to get a good look on the goal. They probably needed a goal here would go a long way for confidence, even though they're only down 1-0.
And look, you're not getting goals, but the other team doesn't have the ball. They can't score without the ball. Yes, they're not getting a goal, but this is going to wear on this Westminster defense. They're doing really well right now in the first quarter, but this can take its toll in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter. I'm not changing anything if I'm Pope right now. They've had some good hard dodges that have worked. They can create when they want to.
So here they go. They'll work out of the 3-3 we've seen a lot of on the man up today and all throughout the game of lacrosse. And Hadlow, the low lefty, has the ball on his stick. They'll move it up top. Top of the 3-3 is number 10, Matt Johnson. Get a little bit of a breeze here in the stadium. Johnson looking to feed. Good closeout defense there by Westminster. That was number 3, Max Coffin. And Pope really not moving the ball too fast. The Westminster defense never had to rotate. They're going to skip it up top. Johnson's going to look for a step down. Hands free. Shot. Offside high. That'll go. Pope's on the board 1-1.
And they must have heard us up there, right? When you said that, they initiate the skip. When you're on man up, when you get that skip pass, you get the defense moving. Watch as it goes from the low left, right corner. Gets the skip. And Matt Johnson, when he gets his hands with time and room shot, he's going to sink it. Goes top right.
Metzinger on the assist. Good job looking through the defense to find the open stick. And that's a situation where, the 30-second penalty was up. Westminster was running back on defense, but it's still not a settled situation. It's still scrambled. It's still basically extra man, and Pope takes advantage of that.
Yeah, and right there, that possession, a good 5-minute possessions. I think it said 8 minutes they got their first possession. Goal with 3:25.
And they win the faceoff here. Ground ball's picked up there by Nick Burns, who was good to see back in the game after he got the wind knocked out of him early in the first quarter. And Pope will get another possession here. Hadlow handles. He's checked up there by Grant Ansley. Ansley, a tall, rangy defender.
We'd like to see Hadlow go again from X.
So we're just under 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Score 1-1. Dodging down the right alley. Shot low to high
Shot by
above
number
the goal.
8,
Good
Bridgetto.
take there from Cole Tyson.
Number 9, Cole Tyson.
And the
Self wide.
restart in the stick of Matthew Oswald, the freshman who we highlighted. 14 goals on the year coming into the game today. And down the right alley, looking to roll back to his left, no room. Moved on, that was Jack Regetz. And Oswald coming up the left side, throws a fake, and that was a shot, but I don't think he realized where he was on the field, as that was about 3 yards wide.
Yeah, and Oswald just didn't get his hips turned around.
So the ball's going to be brought in by Metzinger. Sam Metzinger, 17 goals on the year. 1 assist so far today on the only Pope Greyhound goal. He's working against number 24, Truman Jones. Inside, roll, fake high, shoot low. Big time goal there by Metzinger.
Who says fundamentals are dead?
And we'll
Fake high, get the goalie up.
We'll see here on the Lacrosse Fire TV replay. A nice inside roll, works top side. Fake high, shoot low. My favorite way to score in the game of lacrosse.
We got Xavier O'Neal for Pope. Number 29,
Tyler Boss really bit on that high fake. Pick your poison. He sold out for it. Only 2-1 though.
So taking the draw here for Westminster's number 29, Rue Yusi. And for the Greyhounds, that was number 16, Xavier O'Neal. And here is O'Neal. Doesn't look like he wants to push transition. Excuse me, that was Ronnie Tidwell.
In the tail of this first quarter, the first 6 minutes of the game, Westminster had the ball the entire time. Since then, since that goal to go 1-0, Pope's had it.
So Tyson coming out of the box. He's going to give it a go from straight away as Pope goes into a 1-4 set. He goes down the right alley. He beat his man, drew a slide, but did not move the ball. And he's still getting doubled and holding on to the ball too long, but there's a flag down. So Pope this is a free possession for Pope. They'll get the ball back as soon as the ball hits the ground. And Oswald pushing up the right side. Nothing there. Good defense from Ali Bogus. And working to get to his right hand, but not finding a lot of success is Cole Tyson. But now he's finding some success. Shot high. Tyson just kept pushing that right hand, and we'll see what this flag is here on the Wildcats.
That's a tough foul right now. You're playing a lot of defense. You can start to see fatigue. Now they're going to have to go man down.
And it looks like they're going to get an illegal body check, so that'll be 1 minute. Man up advantage here for the Greyhounds. 1 for 1 on the man up, or 0 for 1, depending on how you're scoring it at home.
1 minute, man up Pope.
So let's see if they continue to work out of that 3-3 set. Last time, Metzinger, the low right, he skipped it up top to Matt Johnson, top middle for a hands-free step down. And Johnson with the stick now, or with the ball on his stick now, he's going to carry. And a lot of motion there from the Greyhound man up, and Westminster does a good job of staying compact. And Connor, you're over here wanting the ball to move a little faster on the man up.
I'm an offensive-minded guy. You got to get that ball spinning. When you get the ball spinning, the defense moves. When the defense moves, you'll find the open target.
And a big step down there from Johnson from
Number 10, Matt Johnson.
15
Stop.
yards out.
Sells wide right.
And they'll restart it. Metzinger will have it in a stick, gives it over to Hadlow. Oswald throws the fake, couldn't find room to step in. And a skip through, right hand inside, low to high. Fundamentally there, I think an overhand shot is the way to go there. And Matt Johnson might have had his second of the day. So here goes Hadlow. He throws it back across to Metzinger, up top to Johnson. Looking to get to his right. And he's going to find Oswald to Hadlow. Low pass, couldn't handle, trying to track it down. He does.
6 seconds left.
And clock running down. Pope does not see it. 2, 1. They're going to get a look.
He got it.
Going to count it. They do. Pope recognized it at the last minute as Metzinger found Oswald inside as time expired. The new rule, as long as the ball is out of your stick, the goal is good, and we see it here. Metzinger last minute realizes it, pushes. Oswald does a good job just finding some space, catch and finish.
Caught a defender ball watching.
So at the end of one, the score, Pope 3, Westminster 1. You're watching here on Lacrosse Fire TV. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this break.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
This Lacrosse Fire TV broadcast is brought to you by Lace Up with Lax, ending homelessness one step at a time. CBA Sports, your sports construction specialist. AJO4Lax, the Andrew Oswald Memorial Fund. And Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine, dedicated to all better.
And we're back. And we're back here at the AJO4Lax Fest. You're watching live on Lacrosse Fire TV as the second quarter gets underway, and Westminster trying to gain possession, ball bouncing around, finally picked up by Westminster, transition opportunity. DeVroe, big time shot, misses. And maybe we'll see 6 minutes of possession here for the Wildcats.
Odd game to start.
I'm Ned Case alongside Connor Squires. Thanks for tuning in here on Lacrosse Fire TV. Our fifth game of the day. Host Pope trying to knock off Westminster from the ranks of the unbeatens. And looked like a little bit of a high check there. Not called. They'll get it behind. Ball in the stick of Fitzharris, who has the only Westminster goal on the day. Oh, nice two-man play there. DeVroe finds number 9 cutting to the goal. Henry Parker.
Number 9,
And
Henry
much
Parker.
like that, it's 3-2.
On the score for Westminster.
Two-man game of lacrosse. Easiest thing to do, hardest thing to defend.
Number 26, Logan Devereaux.
Just takes one defender to get a step out of position. And that's an easy goal.
And looks like Pope just didn't quite communicate
Luke
there.
Jones on the face-off
Looked
for
like
Westminster.
Westminster just went to their bread and butter. You see Coach Tony Souza right there on the Westminster sideline. You know he loves to see an early goal there. So 3-2. Pope still leading. And a nice face-off scrap there, trying to get picked up. No call so far. There's a stick on the ground and picked up there by Pope. Big ground ball. That was number 16, Xavier O'Neal, the face-off man. And with this game, we've seen, teams are patient with their possession, totally okay with playing 6-on-6. The face-off X is going to become a big part of the game.
It's going to be make it, take it, really. It's been a scrap so far, but imagine an NFL team, if they score a touchdown, they get the ball right back. It's going to have a big impact here with a tight-knit game.
So here's Matt Johnson up top. He's checked by Max Coffin. He's going to go right down the middle. Coffin knocks it loose. Ball's going to be picked up there briefly. Westminster really having a hard time picking up ground balls. And they're going to get bailed out with a push there. So Westminster will look to clear it. And Farley picks the ball up for the restart. Looks across the field, finds Ali Bogus, who comes back to Farley, but a good check there. Westminster just not doing a great job of really seeing the field. Physical play there. And a timeout granted to Westminster. Interesting call. Didn't see any possession there, but they're going to say they got a timeout. So with 10:19 remaining, Westminster gets their timeout, down 1. Ball just on their side of the midfield. And possession right here, we'll look at some of the key players for Westminster. DeVroe already on the board. Jack Patton also on the board. And Chase Williams, we talked about the big midfielder going to play at Princeton next year.
Right, and they haven't had the ball for too long, but they can score. We'll see if the pace picks up here in this game. But for now, Pope, they had the ball a long time. You would have thought it was 5-1. Westminster goes down, scores a quick one, just a 1-point game.
So Westminster coming out of the timeout. Do you expect them to go back to a little more of that two-man game? You think they'll slow it down? What do you think Coach Sousa's drawing up right here?
You don't want to be predictable. You want to change it up. The two-man game works. Maybe some off-ball pick stuff. They've had some luck, coming with the head of steam down. And also those two guys that we just featured, so two guys out of the attack. Let's see, just when they scored that first goal, pushing from behind, pushing at X, trying to backdoor somebody.
Patton with a goal, with an assist, and DeVreaux with an assist. So the attackmen doing their job, a quarterback in the offense, getting the ball to the guys who could score. And Westminster's going to come out in a 14 set. John Farley with the ball. He'll draw the long pole. He's going to run right past him, draw a slide, moves it, and a good handle there by Patton. And Pope really pressing out. They're getting run by a little bit, but they want to really make you earn every pass. Good look inside, and a nice save there by Oswald. As the shot came off the stick of Henry Parker, looking for his second of the game.
See how Pope responds.
They get a touch, and they'll roll back and reset it. Good clear there by Ronnie Tidwell. And now Metzinger holds it as Pope gets their offensive group on the field. Coming out of the box, that's number 9, Cole Tyson. And good defense there as he's met with a good cross check there from Sam Woodhouse, forcing a turnover. A ward was called.
As an attackman, you got to keep that free hand locked up. You can't use it to your advantage.
And Bass trying for the home run clear, and it's going to end up being successful as the ground ball is picked up by Fitzharris, but certainly not the way Coach Sousa drew up that clear.
And it's funny, 6-on-6 play, it's been pretty crisp. In between the lines, it's been the ball's been on the ground the entire time. No one can really set up in a clear. And I don't even think it's because the other teams are riding hard. It's just, it's really tough right now for both teams.
They've been waiting around all day, probably saw games 3 and 4 ready to get out on the field, and maybe they just got too much of the jitterbugs ready to play. We talked about how this Saturday Fest is a little bit funny. You're used to playing, a 6 o'clock game. The chop missed backed up there by Pope. You're used to playing a 6 o'clock game where you have school all day before, or maybe, you've probably never played a noon game, on a Saturday as a high schooler. So a little bit different kind of feel for some of these games for these boys.
Right, and as a high school coach myself, those kids are probably sleeping in until 12 o'clock anyway. It's getting pretty sluggish coming off the bus over here.
So a cross check high, but not called there. And Pope will have their offensive group on the field as the ball's in the stick of number 31. Jack Regetz, he'll move it up top. Dodge downhill for Barnhill. And you hear the yellow call as it doesn't look like, and they do. They finally get their last sub off. Number 28, Sam Borrell. And Johnson will check into the game. Johnson with 1 goal already on a step down at the end of an extra man. He'll get picked up out of the box by Farley. And again, just patient, just totally content carrying the ball. No need to spin it. And so here goes Johnson. He likes his matchup against the short stick. And good defense there by Farley, but a good pick. He's got his hands free, but sidearm off cage.
Westminster doesn't give up that shot very, very often. 10 yards, hands free. Got to try to put that on net, make the goalie make a save.
Metzinger with it behind. He's going to give it a go, push it up the left side. Good lift check there as the ball was jarred loose. That was Jones. And a hold is going to get called on Pope. Westminster will have the chance to clear.
Truman Jones playing very, very well in that low lefty wing, just getting the guy's hands. It's not about the slap check. He gets down on the guy's hands, leaves it there, the ball's popping out.
You mentioned Rain Schomburger, the Duke commit, not playing today, due in part to injury. So this other defensive group has had to step up, and Truman's done a good job of shutting down Metzinger, Pope's top offensive attackman. And a good ride here. And another timeout to Pope. And with 6:47 remaining here in the second quarter, Pope leads 3-2, and they call a timeout. We'll be back on Lacrosse Fire TV right after this quick break.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Welcome back to Pope High School here for the 10th annual AJO4Lax Festival. Host Pope Greyhounds taking on the defending 5A state champions Westminster Wildcats. Pope up 3-2 right now. Just used a timeout to save possession. And they'll play some more 6-on-6. Connor, we were just talking about at the break, you know, in the first game I called today, I was talking with Scott Ratliff about 1st to 10 usually wins. You said 1st to 8 might win this one.
1st to 8 might win this one unless, I think if someone can jump out to a 3-goal lead, the way the game's going back and forth, they may very well be able to take it.
So here goes Johnson trying to get to the middle of the field. Good defense there by Westminster. That's Ben Walker. And a shot wide.
That Johnson shot.
The offense out of the midfield for Pope really seems to be running through Johnson. They're really letting him carry the ball on a stick wherever he wants to attack.
It is, he just keeps grinding, trying to put his team on his shoulders.
And it looks like a little bit of a design play there from Pope, but Westminster did a good job off ball. And so Oswald will dodge from behind. He'll drive up the left side. And working against 5-5, throws a stick fake. And don't know if that hit the pipe or save, but a shot on goal and a rebound. Johnson puts that one home low to low.
And sure enough, number 10 from the right spot at the right time.
And we'll see it here on the Lacrosse Fire TV replay. The first shot looks like a nice save there by Bass as he went low and then just could not quite spot the ball. You see him there trying to figure out where the ball is, where he is in the goal. And Johnson just picks it up and puts it home.
Yeah, that's tough for Bass. Makes a great save, and then, it just happens sometimes. Low scoring affair here, though.
So 4-2, Pope leads, just under 6 minutes remaining here before halftime. We're back at the X. It's number 16, Xavier O'Neal. And he'll lose the faceoff there to Luke Jones for Westminster. And Jones will carry into the box, get a touch, and pull it back out. So the ball, Chase Williams, number 21, headed to Princeton next year. One of a handful of Division I commits. The attackman Logan DeVreau also headed Division I. He'll be playing in Maryland at Loyola next year.
Right, and again, 5 years ago, it's like every broadcast we have here. It's another Division I player, another Division I player. The shot goes wide here for Westminster. Great to see as a Georgia Lacrosse fan and a guy that's gone through it. When we were getting recruited, 5-6 years ago, you didn't see it. Now it's just common.
Behind the goal, it's the lefty. Turning the corner, shot missed. Good take there from Patton.
Got a cup by number 13, Jack Patton. A little high.
Seems like Patton hasn't had the ball on his stick a lot, but when he does, he creates good opportunities for Westminster. I'd like to see him have the ball on his stick a little more.
And they're giving him room. The two slide, they're saying they're not going to slide to him. Easily can take advantage of that.
So Will Fitzharris carries. He'll exchange behind to DeVreau. DeVreau, a big boy out there, does a good job getting topside, getting the spots that he wants. And here is Patton, guarded by Adam Corby. And Patton turning the corner, shot high.
Jack Patton shot, sails high.
Corby matched up on Patton. Corby, arguably Pope's best defenseman, was all-state last year.
See if they go right back to that two-man game.
And it's Fitzharris, loses the ball, and nothing called there. Looked like a little bit in the back, picked up there by Westminster as the ball found its way into the stick of Cope Fitzharris.
Ground balls lead to goals. Let's see if they can get one.
And here's Chase Williams getting a run from up top. He's going to work downhill. Draws a slide, looks inside. Good collapse defense there from Pope. to not let a shot get off. Ground ball picked up by DeBose Bean and to Oswald, and now Pope might have a little transition if they push. And they won't push.
Take a wild guess. They're going to take a possession. They're not going to try to push it.
They'll get their guys on the ball in the stick of Jack Regetz. Regetz moves it over to Tyson, and looks like they got a little bit of a got him situation and a turnover there. Maybe part of the reason Pope doesn't want to run in transition is the sticks just aren't quite there.
It might just not be their nature. You know, they want to drag guys out, you know, win 8-7, 8-6. That's a good look, though. You almost, that's a 5-on-6 opportunity.
So Westminster will look to clear here. The ball in Bass's stick. He gives it over to Jones. Jones up to Gilogly, and they're cleared. Farley coming down, 2-on-1. Patton couldn't quite handle, and Oswald picks it up. So last possession for each team. Turnovers on balls that probably should have been caught. Hit him right in the stick.
Clear, Greyhounds.
Pope's also cleared up their clearing game a little bit, too.
And going to the goal. And Coach Papp is going to use a timeout there as Pope leads 4-2. It looked like the long pole might have had a step, Griffin Kessling, but he might not be the guy to go to the goal. So 4-2 here. We got 3:02 remaining in the second quarter. You talked about potentially a 3-goal lead being what you need, you know, to take advantage and control the game all the way through. And a goal here for Pope out of this timeout would do just that.
Yeah, and Griffin Kessling, the LSM that was breaking to the cage as that timeout gets called, he's probably a little upset. But, I mean, stick to what you're good at. Simple 6-on-6 positions, you know. And if I'm Westminster, whenever number 10 gets the ball, Johnson, I'm just going to slide to him. You know, it doesn't really look like he's trying to move the ball. You know, when the ball's behind, they got a lot of two-man game stuff from the middle, and with Johnson floating over the top. Maybe some halftime corrections will come out.
Johnson, 2 goals here in the first half. Sam Metzinger with a goal and 2 assists for the Greyhounds. And Matthew Oswald rounding out the scoring for Westminster. It's been Henry Parker and Cope Fitzharris, the only 2 Wildcats to get on the board. Both of those goals were assisted. So we've seen, like I said, we've seen a lot of good team offense, you know, within the 6-on-6. It's not just one-on-one. It's one-on-one, draw, move it, pass, find someone for a good look.
Right, and, you know, Westminster's defense, they're making Pope pay for their goals. They just got to get – this is the scoreboard. You know, right now, if you would ask me, I would say it would have been a tie ball game if you would take the scores away, you know, per se. You know, it's pretty even right now. It's going to be a chess match the rest of the day.
And the ball will restart in the stick of Bryce Barnhill. It'll be Barnhill, Johnson, and Regetz at the midfield for the Greyhounds. And Hadlow, Metzinger, and Oswald for the Greyhounds on attack. So here we go, spinning the ball. 2:40 remaining. Again, seeming very patient. Westminster doesn't feel any need to go press out. They're going to talk through this pick and do a good job of keeping the pole on the best midi down the right alley. Flag is down. Johnson still carrying the ball, still dancing with it. And he's going to take a shot falling away. Bass ate that one up. So I think they're going to get a hold here on Westminster. And again, you talked about it. Westminster seems to be in the box a lot. That one, you know, maybe a call that could have gone either way, but got to play more man-down defense here.
And right now, they're sliding to Johnson with 2 guys, 3 guys, because he's just not moving the ball.
And Johnson is really dominating every matchup he's been a part of, whether it's a short stick or a long stick. He seems to be running by them, getting to his right hand, to his strength. And we'll see him here looking for a step-down opportunity, another one of his strengths. So ball, Metzinger picks it up on a hop. Johnson with it up top, moves it over to Oswald. He's going to throw a fake and get it back to Johnson. Working out of the 3-3 look. And a step-down shot and knocked down. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Pope. That was number 24 on the ground ball. Bryce Barnhill. And we're under 2 minutes remaining here as Westminster kills off that penalty. Pope didn't really run much out of that. Just sat in the 3-3, tried to look to the inside, but kind of settled for an outside shot. But they keep possession nonetheless. Hadlow's going to have a step down low to low. Bass eats that one up.
Right. Westminster's playing a lot of defense right here. Try to clear the ball. Get yourself a good possession.
And a good find there. Farley in the middle of the field
They're going to push it.
August did a good job finding him. Step down, look, easy from 5 yards out. Connor loves the transition. That's the lefty attackman. Jack Patton stings that one high.
You know, a slow game like this, chess matches are great, but when you get opportunities to score, this is fun lacrosse right here. Sees the open look, gets behind the defense. They slide up the left side. That's tough. If you leave that low lefty open, it's really hard to recover that. You got to have a point slide. Didn't look like they really established who's the point slide right there. 1 point game with 1:16 left.
Patton records his first goal of the game, his 17th on the year for the junior attackman. And we're back to 4-3, 1:15 remaining here in the second quarter. See if Westminster can get another goal here, tie it up, and get some momentum going into halftime. And Coach Souza wants to do just that as he'll use a timeout. With 1:07 remaining here in the second quarter, Pope leads Westminster 4-3. You're watching the AJO4Lax Festival here on Lacrosse Fire TV. We'll be back right after this break. Welcome back to the AJO4Lax Festival. You see a couple fans there kind of lean back watching lacrosse, and it's been a great day. We're in the 5th game of the day. They've all been great. Cambridge walked away with a win over Woodwood in the first one. Walton gutted out a 3 overtime win over Johns Creek. Lambert dismantled Lovett, and in the last game, Centennial took care of Harrison. Now Westminster and Pope closing out the day. 1 minute remaining here in the second quarter. Pope leads by 1. Logan DeVreau trying to find some space. He'll draw a flag, and Westminster will have a chance to go on the extra man here.
And really thought that was just a moving screen, to be honest. They actually get a flag out of it. You know, tight game. They're going to get a man up. Let's see if they can get a free one here.
You heard the Pope faithful here. Very upset that the moving screen wasn't called. Instead, a hold called on Pope. Looks like they're going to get number 18 for that one. Dubose Bean.
32nd man up for Westminster.
And Westminster setting up in the 3-3 as well as Pope. Let's see if they run anything out of it or if they just try to bang it around and look for a good step down or try to find Farley on the inside. So Patton up in the top left shooter spot. Top middle is number 12, Will Fitzharris. And he's going to step in. Patton, that one rang off the crossbar. Looked like DeVreau backs it up.
What a shot.
Patton's got a cannon right there. Nice overhand, high to high. Beat Oswald, but could not beat the iron.
And he was patient with it, too. I mean, maybe just a little bit too much heat. Probably could have placed it.
So DeVreau coming for the restart. Gives it down to Patton. They'll swing it behind to Fitzharris. Throw back. There's Patton again. One more to DeVreau. DeVreau, good save there by Oswald.
Nice deflection by number 4, Michael Oswald.
And the save that will kill off the penalty. And we'll be back to even strength here.
We are now all even with
10 seconds remaining in the half. DeVreau looks up at the clock. He sees it. He's going to lean in. Takes a shot. Oswald with a big save. And he'll just clear it as time will run out here in the first half. As Pope leads Westminster 4-3 here in the finale of the AJO4 Lacrosse Festival. We'll have 24 more minutes of action after this halftime. Stay tuned to Lacrosse Fire TV.
This Lacrosse Fire TV broadcast is brought to you by Lace up with Lax, ending homelessness one step at a time. CBA Sports, your sports construction specialist. AJO4Lax, the Andrew Oswald Memorial Fund, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine, dedicated to all better.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
You are our winners.
Welcome back to the finale, the last half of the AJO4 Lacrosse Festival. Almost hate to see the 5th game begin this last half of play. It's been such a phenomenal day of lacrosse. I'm Ned Case along with Connor Squires here on Lacrosse Fire TV. Thanks for tuning in. The score 4-3, Pope up at the half. Connor, slow 6-on-6 style. What are going to be some keys here in the second half?
Well, it's a chess match right now. You know, face-offs are going to be huge. It was pretty even in the first half. You know, face-offs and failed clears, because failed clears will come back to haunt you in this game.
And here's a big face-off to start the half. Who can grab momentum to start the third quarter? And it's going to be a good ground ball scrum and a push call. It's going to go to Westminster. The ball will be picked up there by Chase Williams, the senior midfielder headed to play at Princeton next year.
Right, you know, penalties haven't really been a big factor in this game, maybe a couple. I don't even think only one goal was from man up, maybe two. You know, just kind of a slow game, a real coach's duel, a real player's duel right now.
And we saw when Westminster did get out in transition one time when they ran, they got a good, easy look from it. And here's DeVroe, and he just kind of tried to guide that one to the top corner, just missed. Good backup there. That's a good hustle play there by Pope's top defenseman, Adam Corby.
I tell you, he might have had Oswald beat there too.
So Pope will look to clear. They'll bring their short stick back as they've done all game so far. He gives it off to Oswald, the senior in goal, very in control. Walking it up. And he's looking for someone to break open, and they're going to get a failure to advance there. And
he's got to have his 4 seconds to get back in the cage.
They're not going to get the quick whistle. A 5-second there, and
another rule. In a college game, that's the goal, because if the goalie's going to come out that far, that's almost a free goal for the other team if they can hit that
right.
that 50-yarder.
And a situation that I saw earlier this year is a ref, same situation, didn't give the 5 count. He was thinking college rules, so it just, you know, we talk about it. Not having the same rules across the board really hurts the sport and makes it tough to watch and certainly tough to officiate at times.
Yeah, it's the hardest to officiate.
So a good ride here from Westminster, but they're going to get called for a push, or Pope's going to have a chance to clear it again. And a failed clear there, you just talked about it, but they got bailed out with the push call.
Pope's trying to get their balls to their middies to clear the ball, but and another train wreck.
Cole Tyson is...
Whoa! An early timeout.
Early timeout here for Pope. 10:30 remaining, up 4-3. And you know, you talked about it's a coach's duel, but is that when you want to use that timeout? But then again, you say it's only a 4-3 game. There's only been 7 goals. Every possession does matter.
You gotta see that this is gonna be like what we said, a 7-8 game. You're gonna want that timeout later in the game, and I just don't see it. You know, with 2 minutes into the third quarter.
So Coach Paff opting to use one of his 2 second-half timeouts there, as Cole Tyson was in a little bit of trouble. It slipped and was getting harassed by a long pole, but the ball across the midfield line. Pope with a chance to extend that lead to 2. See what Carl Paff drew up in that huddle for the Greyhounds. Wouldn't be surprised to see the ball in the stick of number 2, Sam Metzberger. 18 goals now after putting 1 in today. Also has 2 assists, so certainly the playmaker for the Pope Greyhounds so far on the day.
Right, it does sound like we were a little harsh on the Pope coach there, but hey, if they score a goal out here, I mean, 2-point game.
Yep.
Like we said, make it a 3-point game. It could be out of reach.
So here's Pope attacking, and they're going to get it over to Tyson. He's got the long pole on him. He'll bang it back behind Oswald, and they'll move it over to Metzinger. Metzinger checked there by Truman Jones. Did a good job in the first half, although he did have the 3 points. Really limited him for getting. One of those came on an extra man. And here's Hadlow, the lefty, trying to get on the board for the first time today.
Pope working 2-man games up towards the corners. Looks like Westminster's figured it out over halftime.
And working up top on the rollbacks is Jack Regetz, but he can't find any room. Good defense there from Gil Oagley just to stay in front.
Pope right now just in an open set, working the 2-man games on the perimeter, trying to encourage an adjacent slide.
Oswald pushing up the left side, likes to throw that fake to see if he can get the defense to move. Didn't on that one. Tyson, good stick protection, gets in front. Easy finish And a big-time goal there from Pope. And that timeout by Coach Paff may have been a good one looking back now.
And it pays off, as you see right here as the replay's coming up. I mean, when you're in an open set with nobody on the crease, you're going to be able to run through a stick check. You're going to be able to get to the interior because there's no one slide on the inside. A good job of a good hard finish.
And good stick protection there. Something, you know, you see with a lot of high schoolers, they leave that stick hanging, they get hit with the trail check. But he did a good job being conscious of keeping that stick tight to his body.
Right, because we'll see what Westminster's defense does now. Maybe they'll try to pack it in since they're trying to draw adjacent slides.
So another face-off here, 5-3. Pope takes the lead, just under 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And a good face-off win there for Westminster. DeVroe moves it back up to Farley as Westminster will get their offensive personnel on the field. And they're looking like they're going to work out of an open set as well.
Right, and Westminster right now, you know, tough goal down the other side. Take your time, though. You know, it's been working for you. Don't try to rush a quick shot here and turn the ball over.
So an invert opportunity. Look to the backside. Nice goal. That one was finished there by number 10, Cope Fitzharris. That's his second of the day.
Carbon copy of that first goal that we saw from Westminster.
And we'll see it here. They invert the short stick behind. Beat their man, draw the slide. No two slide there from Pope coming down the backside. And an easy dunk for Cope Fitzharris.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, for close defenseman, we can't find him on a roster. He gets caught ball watching. Got to have that two help, though. Team defense.
So back at the X quickly. That was probably the quickest goal of the game from face-off to goal. Luke Jones won the last one for the Wildcats. Let's see if he can win this one. And he does pop it forward. Going to be a ground ball scrum. And does a good job of getting it to himself. Tough job corralling it. And he'll just leg it into the box now. And looks like they're going to get a push from behind. Tough call there, but he fell, so he's going to get the call. Westminster wanted to play on to continue. The ball never hit the ground, but the whistle blew it dead.
So they're going to get a 30-second technical. Yeah, he got him with the push and the technical. Let's see if they can cash in here. Just like that, you could have a tie ball game.
So Westminster 5-on-4. We saw them work out of the 3-3 last time. Looks like they're going to work out of the 1-4-1 this time, given that Pope man-down defense, some different sets to see.
Interesting, in the 1-4-1 on man up, someone's got to guard two people on the crease. Someone's going to be open.
They pressure behind, and they're going to move the ball in the stick of Patton. He skips it across, and the ball could not be handled there by Williams. And is it going to roll out of bounds? Saved briefly, but a good defensive effort there by Pope. That was...
They called a timeout.
Wow. So,
refs are being very generous with these possessions and timeout.
We see Pope frustrated, but Pope did get the benefit of the doubt on one of those calls earlier. So
I mean, the far ref awards the timeout confidently, so he must have heard it.
So, you know, again, an early timeout there, but if you're Coach Souza, probably not a terrible timeout. Extra man. This is a good chance to score, and they've had a little difficulty scoring in 6-on-6.
And both coaches are realizing that no one's going to break away with this game. I'm telling you, 8-7 is going to be the winner. And, you know, you got to take your chances of these opportunities.
Coach Souza, you see him on your screen now, led the Wildcats to a state championship last year, looking to go back-to-back, undefeated right now, ranked number 1 in the Georgia Lacrosse News 6A poll. And, you know, we talked about the attack has kind of been getting it done. Jack Patton, Logan DeVroe doing good jobs creating offense, but we'll see what they do on the man up here. I would imagine they're going to look for an easy dunk, ideally inside or on a skip down to the pipes.
Right, and in this type of game, you know, it's kind of hard because you can't look at, you know, the goals and assists, but, you know, it's guys that are instigating offense. You know, who's really getting the motion going. On this man up, you gotta attack the gaps. You know, if you just step in on a defender, you haven't really made anybody move.
So here we go, the restart deep in the corner. It'll be Williams. He'll go up to DeVroe, and they'll swing it to Patton in the lefty shooter spot. Patton gets it again, working out of the 3-3. Here comes some motion, a cutter, and Pope kills off the penalty. I guess I didn't realize how short time was on that penalty with that timeout. But DeVroe has the matchup, got the short stick. The Loyola-bound attackman going to his right, and Shot was wide. Looked like he kind of settled there. Looked like he probably could have gotten a better shot with the short stick on him.
Yeah, I really thought he was going to take advantage of that mismatch physically.
Cope Fitzharris pushes up the left side. He's got 2 goals so far on the day for the Wildcats. And Westminster's going to go back to that invert where they found success last time.
Watch number 10 on the crease. Little back door right here.
And let's see if Westminster slides differently or to a different spot. They don't go there, and the shot off the pipe and rebound going to be picked up there by number 12, Will Fitzharris.
Westminster very calm and confident in their offense right now.
Cope Fitzharris with the ball. Gives it to Williams. He's going to have his hands free and blast one wide. They're going to give it to the goalie. And in a 6-on-6 game like this, you start putting shots on goal to make goalies make sense.
That's his second one. He had one earlier at UMO. He had his hands free, pulled it. Another one right there.
And I know as a coach, both you and I, sometimes frustrating seeing that sidearm shot there. It seems to be the culture of the game now in the youth. But a great ride there from DeVreaux. Ball is loose. And Westminster went offsides, but they did not call. Post going to pick it up. They're running in transition. Let's see if they decide to push it. And a bad pass there is going to force a turnover. And Westminster will have a chance to tie it up again here with 6:48 remaining in the third quarter.
Chase Williams took that last shot. He's got the ball back in his stick. I think he's about to go and take another one here. I bet he hits the next shot he gets, though. I think he's going to learn from it.
DeVreaux with a tough skip pass. Didn't look like the skip lane was there. DeVreaux really being physical on these rides, and they're going to get a flag there. I think they're probably going to get him for a cross-checker. Hit up high, coming down, transition to the long pole, the slow bouncer. Looked like it was maybe going to go. That shot out of the stick of DeBose Bean.
First time we've seen it get up and down a little bit.
Agreed. Good to see the back and forth, but score remains the same, 5-4. They're going to get DeVreaux here on the ride. You know, tough for an attackman. You want to ride, but tough to get the penalty. They're going to get him for the illegal body check, so it'll be a 1-minute man up for Pope. They have found some success on the man up. Of course, that's how they opened the game with Matt Johnson hitting a step down on the extra man.
Right, you know, Westminster just had their chance at man up. Sure enough, it's a duel. It's going back the other way. That's just how the game's been.
So 6-on-5 lacrosse here for a minute. And Pope is coming out and a little bit of a sideways 3-3 look here, but now they're going to come back in, skip over the top, hands free. That was too easy. Metzinger found Johnson up top for the goal. Pope extends the lead to 2.
And as you see here on the replay, I mean, everyone knows in the stadium that 10's probably going to take this shot, but what a great skip pass over a lot of defenders. A lot of confidence throwing that ball. He gets his hands, time, and room, puts it right off hip.
And it looked like with that 3-3, sideways 3-3 open set with nobody on the inside, it spread that defense out a little bit, and I think probably created a little bit more of a skip lane there for Metzinger.
And if anything, it was just more of a hiccup. They haven't seen it, so they, maybe panicked a little bit. Great step down opportunity backside.
And Metzinger tallies his 3rd assist. Little transition here for Westminster.
Here we
They
go.
want to push, and they're going to give it to DeVreaux. Oh, ball could not be handled by Fitzharris, and stick handling haunting Westminster here in transition. And a good ride there from the long pole. And he's going to get to the middle of the field. He's going to get, good defense there to slide physical to the body. And backup's going to go to Westminster. But here we go, a little third quarter back and forth action. Had some transition.
And it hasn't been clean, but it's been presented. So, I mean, you have to keep taking, you have to do it.
So here's Bass on the setter, clear. Metzinger jumps him, but he does a good job of finding the long pole. And good job just to knock the pass down there by Parker. Parker coming to transition. Shot wide.
Number 9, Henry Parker's shot wide.
Another little bit of transition there. Parker coming down on the clear.
Yeah, it's just not marking up. Not marking up for the midfielders, getting back in the hole.
And Farley with the ball up top, splits to his left, sweeping across the top. Gives it ahead to Parker. They're going to give it to DeVreaux and back to Cope Fitzharris. And Westminster working out of the open set here. See if they go to that invert offense that they had the last 2 possessions. And they do here. Good defense there by Pope. That's number 6 for the Greyhounds, forcing a low angle shot. Good defense there from Paul Lyons.
Westminster having luck behind. They're not really coming hard on that 2 slide, taking it around for himself on the left angle.
Cope Fitzharris restarts it. He'll get it up top to Parker. He's got the long pole on him. Good defense from the long pole, but he's going to run through a stick check. Slide comes from Corby. Moves it on, and the ball cannot be handled there by Patton. The sticks coming out of the halftime for the Wildcats have been a little bit rusty.
See if Pope can clear here.
So Pope using a long stick to clear. We've seen him use the short sticks most of the game. In fact, they have 4 long poles on the field right now, and they get their 3rd guy on. But Westminster doing a good job on the ride. Westminster not doing anything crazy, but just man-to-man and forcing tough plays like that.
They're just matching feet.
And a heads-up play there by Bass to get the ball and know where the open man was as he finds Gil Oakley. And Farley in the middle of the field wants the ball. Nice back cut there. Shot off the crossbar.
I think that was a goal.
Back of Oswald, and not a goal. Jack Patton getting topside in his left hand.
2 pipes and a goalie bank.
Coming down the other end, it's Oswald working in the middle of the field. Ball's on the ground. Picked up there by Farley. And Farley has to run through a bunch of Greyhounds. Can't get it. Whistle blows. I think we're going to get a hold on Pope, and we do.
Tell you what, Oswald on the goal right now, amped.
We see here on the Lacrosse Fire replay, the shot here from Patton goes off the crossbar, off the back of Oswald, but he does a good job of finding it and keeping it out of the goal. Now again, Patton shot. That one
another
off the crossbar too. Patton getting his daily dose of iron today. And the ball is going to go out of bounds, and it will stay with Westminster.
If I'm Pope and I get the ball back, I'm not going to push transition. They need to possess. The last thing I want to do is get in a running match here with Westminster.
So Westminster down 6-4, 3:21 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. A little bit of back and forth action we've seen, but not a lot of teams, neither team really taking advantage of it as far as scoring the goal, but certainly push transition. Go Paris, hands free. Shot goal that was created by Chase Williams, who beat his man and drew the slide.
And they do take advantage there. That's the 3rd time in the last 3 or 4 minutes that they've got the defensive movement and gotten great shots.
And we see it here. Dodging by your man, head up, draw the slide, find the open man. It's Cope Harris, and he finishes for his 3rd goal of the game.
Little tempo and pushing in Westminster's favor right now, not for Pope.
So 6-5, 3:12 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. The finale of the AJO4 Lacrosse Festival. Thanks for tuning in here on Lacrosse Fire TV. I'm Ned Case alongside Connor Squires, head coach at Collins Hill. And former Lenore Rhine attackman. And Westminster wins the faceoff. Connor, you talked about how big faceoffs are going to be here, and Westminster throws that one away, but Westminster's dominated faceoffs here in the 3rd quarter.
They have, and as the ball goes out of bounds here, they're going to give it to Westminster's ball.
Official looked unsure of the call. Westminster just took the ball and acted sure of it. Here we go, a little transition. And Parker, situation there where Parker may have been better off pushing transition instead of pulling out and running into the double team.
Right, but
DeVreau rides it back. Push the transition. It's 3-on-3. Let's see if they try to attack, and DeVreau wisely pulls it out.
Pope is struggling to clear the ball. That's why Westminster can play at this speed right now. They get it back almost every time. And they're almost somewhat making Pope play at their speed. And Pope can't play right now at their speed.
Pope does seem to be in a bit of a hurry. Here we go. Fitzharris getting in the middle of the goal. Slow bouncer. Nice save there by Oswald. And good backup there. Corby made a couple nice plays, backing up shots on the inline to gain extra possessions for Pope. As we tick down to 2:15 on the clock. Pope looking to clear here. And again, a failed clear. Patton picks it up and wisely moves it over to DeVreau to settle. And you just talked about it. Pope struggling to clear the ball. Part of that may be just giving it to a short stick, and Westminster saying, let's double the short sticks and make the poles beat us on the clear. Nice find.
Wow.
Finish, and the attack getting it done here for the Westminster Wildcats.
Jack Patton finds himself on the backside.
And DeVreau with his second assist.
And look, he just drives to the paint. There's no help interior defensively. I mean, the middies are up the field. Great back cut. Silly game strong. Tie game.
So under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. We're back to an even ball game, 6-6. The defending 5A state champion Westminster Wildcats taking on the 6A state finalists from last year, Pope Greyhounds. It's been a slower game than some of the ones we saw earlier, but it's certainly been exciting. And another face-off win there for Luke Jones. See if he can pick it up. He does. And Jones has been very in control, picking up the ball, getting his touch, finding space. Here he does a good job of finding the short stick, but he's going to keep carrying. And finally gives it off, and he'll come out through the box. And John Farley will check in for the Wildcats.
Kind of got Pope's defense on their heels right now. Not comfortable with playing at this space. That open set's working. Look at the middle of the field right now. It's open, so if someone can win a one-on-one battle, they're going to get a good shot at 8 yards.
And Farley's going to give it a go down the right alley. Beats his man. Shot, low bouncer, wide. Farley beat his man pretty clean there. Took a good shot.
Yeah, I think they were kind of trying to do a lot of two-man game, kind of getting in the way of their own athletes.
So DeVreau will restart. The senior headed to Loyola next year. 2 assists on the day. Look inside.
Another.
Patton make it 3 as the DeVreau to Patton train continues to roll 2 in a row.
And here it goes back to those timeouts I'd love to have when I was Pope, but they burn an early one.
You see it here. DeVreau running through a check. Sees his buddy Patton on the backside wide open. Patton does a good job flashing his stick, and DeVreau hits him right in the stick.
And that's chemistry, too, knowing that that ball's going to get to him.
So the attack for the Wildcats combining for 6 goals and 4 assists on the day.
Is that 4 straight goals right there for Westminster? In the driver's seat right now.
1:06 remaining here in the third quarter. A goal here for either team could steal a lot of momentum for the fourth, and Johnson just violated, and then a little bit of a weird whistle play from the ref as Jones wanted to give it to one of his wingmen. DeVreau's going to step in and put it wide. Good looking shot there from DeVreau, though.
A lot of hands on the hips from defenders right now, wearing white.
Westminster 6-on-6, leading by 1. Their first lead of the half. As we are under a minute to play here, let's see if Westminster recognizes and decides to hold for 1. As they are playing out of the 14, spinning the ball patiently. Behind with Harris. It's Parker. He goes up top to DeVreau. And over to Patton. 28 seconds remaining. Wildcats going to be patient and hold for the last shot here. You put the stick in the ball on the stick of DeVreau. They do. Back to Patton. And ball couldn't be handled there. We got 12 seconds. Flag down.
Ooh, that's big. They can hold for possession. They've been winning faceoffs anyways, but if you can just get it. Here's the thing. Maybe they will play a little bit here.
10 seconds, so whether it's a 30 or a hold. 30 seconds. So if you hold here, you'll come out, start the fourth quarter with possession and 20 seconds on the clock. You think you push here, see if you can get something?
I mean, you're winning faceoffs, but you don't want to have to spend another 10 seconds running your guys in and out. Then what? You have like maybe a 10-second man up. I mean, right now, it's tough. We'll see what they do.
DeVreau's going to hold it.
Good thing we're not in the coach's deck right now.
Coach Souza done this a time or two in his career, and DeVreau will hand it to the ref as the clock expires to 0. And we'll head to the fourth quarter with Westminster leading by 1. They'll be on the extra man when we begin the last 12 minutes of the AJO4 Classic. We'll be back on Lacrosse Fire TV right after this.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
This Lacrosse Fire TV broadcast is brought to you by Lace Up with Lax, ending homelessness one step at a time. CBA Sports, your sports construction specialist. AJO4Lax, the Andrew Oswald Memorial Fund. And Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine, dedicated to all better.
And welcome back to Pope High School for the AJO4 Lacrosse Festival. Thanks for tuning in on Lacrosse Fire TV, wherever you may be. Big shout out to Carrie Hendrick watching from Avert University, one of the best athletic trainers in the game. But here the Wildcats start man up. 20 seconds were remaining on the penalty, so 4, 3, 2, 1. The penalty will be released. Westminster's going to continue to run their man up play. Let's see if Pope does a good job of getting in, realizing they're 6-on-6 and recovering to go man-to-man. Although right now a little miscommunication, and that pass was deflected inside. Big save there by Oswald, and the ball's going to be loose. Let's see if Pope can pick it up and clear it. And they will pick it up, get it to Oswald, and we'll see what Westminster does here. Westminster's made it really tough on the Greyhounds to clear so far in this game. But they're going to give it to their short stick, and Patton would like to see them try to ride him out of bounds instead of just throwing a one-handed back check there. But here's Johnson. He's got 2 goals on the afternoon already. 3 goals. The leading scorer for the Greyhounds. 50% of their goal output.
Pope in desperate need of a good possession. Gotta let your defense rest on the other side, especially late in this fourth.
He's watched there by Chase Williams, the future Ivy Leaguer headed to Princeton. He's going to force him to his left and does a good job of making him go east and west if he wants his right. And very good defense there from Chase Williams. And you could see why a Division I school would want an athlete like that.
Absolutely. I mean, off Pope right now, you know, Johnson's been having his way. I'd try to maybe clear out for him.
And up top, the ball's in the stick of Cole Tyson. He'll fake a flip and keep it. Hadlow with the ball. Get it behind to Oswald. And now the ball in the stick of Metzinger. A goal and 3 assists on the afternoon. The playmaker of the Pope attack. And he'll look to push. Can't seem to find any room. He's going to try to back in Jones, strength on strength. Gives it up.
I'd like to see Pope go with that little 2-man game in on the crease. They had a lot of success with that. Here they might drop into it right now.
And going down the right alley, getting a shot off. That was number 31, Jack Regetz. Good defense there by Gil Oakley to have his stick in the hands of Regetz. And Oswald trying to get to 5-5, throws a stick fake. And it's Truman Jones on Metzinger. Metzinger trying to turn the corner. He's going to turn, shoot outside the goal. Bass doing a good job of holding the pipe there, but a turnover on the outlet pass. And Pope will get another possession. We saw Pope with a lot of failed clears that led to success for Westminster in the third. Let's see if it goes the other way here in this fourth quarter.
The team that can clear the ball in the fourth quarter the best will win this game.
You're tuned in to Lacrosse Fire TV. I'm Ned Case along with Connor Squires. Thanks for joining us. Hope you've been with us all day. Seen a lot of great lacrosse, including a 3-overtime game early in the afternoon as Walton beat Johns Creek. But here we go inside. Shot wide.
Number 31, Jack Riggins.
Again,
Riggins trying to tie it up.
another sidearm shot, doorstep, man. All you got to do is just overhand, low, hard. It's going to go down.
So a little two-man play behind, trying to make the defense communicate. And good stop there by Bassett, dropping his stick with the stick of Metzinger.
Back to the clearing game.
So we'll see what Pope does here. Bass, the junior,
Pope, go ahead and heat. They're going to lock feet as well.
a strong goalie, very in control.
Got to have a midfielder work back to the ball.
He does a good job of finding the midi out of the box. And a little bit of 6-on-5 here. And a good job there by Westminster of getting their third pole off the field for a short stick. And the match feet ride ended up hurting Pope there as they could not go across without being offsides.
And right there, a Pope attackman has to go over with that. But, you know, they're going to try to match feet.
And Patton tries to find Farley inside. A little bit of a touch pass. Couldn't get it to him. And Pope will have the ball. They'll look to clear. And throws it over the top there. And handled by Johnson as Wes Beckman gets it up to him. He's going to run in transition, run down the back of Williams. Keeps it in his right hand. And the ball takes a full bounce to Metzinger. Fake high, shoot low. Pope will take a goal anyway they can get one.
They're going to give Johnson credit for that assist, but that was more of just being in the right place at the right time. He gets tied up here, runs down the back of his defender. Williams gets in his hands. It just floats to the righty attackman. Give the man the credit, though. That's a good job of Johnson pushing the issue right there.
Metzinger, second goal of the game. You know, as attackman, sometimes it's just about putting yourself in a position to score.
Style points, baby. Style points.
Above the goal on GLE, looking for a little transition, got the fortunate bounce, and was ready to put it home when he got the ball.
They all count.
So 7-7, Pope in Westminster tied here with 7:45 remaining in the fourth. And that face-off won by Luke Jones. Jones really dominated the second half at the X.
Yeah, it took a little time for him to figure it out what was going
Jones
on.
Going to try to go score, puts it in the right hand, and it goes! The face-off man puts it home with Tex early. Oswald got a piece of it, but not enough. And a huge goal there from Luke Jones, taking the momentum right back from Pope.
Oh, well, you're not going to come guard me. I guess I'm just going to go to the goal. Why not? Great job of feeling off his body. Goalie gets a piece, trickles in.
Johnson with those long legs. You know he's taking long strides, hard to keep up with. And certainly Pope worried about the three attackmen on the field, not the face-off guy beating him.
Right, and it's not necessarily a transition, but Westminster's been able to push early offense. That's been a big success for them in the second half to catch that lead, now to take the lead again.
Early offense attacking before that defense is set, even if they're even numbers. That's going to probably be a hold on Pope, and it is. So Westminster will get the ball here as it's picked up by Henry Parker. As the lights have come on here at Pope High School for the finale of the AJO4 Lacrosse Festival. Great event put on in memory of Andrew Oswald, a former Pope attackman. Lost his life to an automobile accident, and they've been doing this event for 10 years to raise awareness about reckless driving and other teen issues. They do a great job of it, and we're excited to be a part of it this year with Lacrosse Fire TV. DeVreaux loses the ball on the ground. It's going to be a big ground ball scrum here, and we're going to have a whistle.
Possibly a loose push.
Not sure what the call was, but Pope will regain possession. Didn't see any indication from either official on the field. It's a two-man crew today. And here's Westminster. Patton trying to come off a pick. He does. Good defense there by Corby, keeping him not from going top side.
Right, now late in the game, the clock becomes to be a factor.
Fitzharris throwback to Henry Parker, and they're going to get it behind in the stick of Cope Harris. He's got 3 goals on the day. Fitzharris, excuse me.
Clock dwindling down. We haven't seen a stall call, I don't think, all day here at the Classic, but we'll see what they do. I mean, it's tough. It's tough for the refs, but 1 goal lead. I don't think they're just going to try to stall this entire 6 minutes out. But if they do, all you got to do is keep it in the box. There's no timer situation.
So Westminster going to go with their invert offense where they found some success. Turn the corner, but Oswald doing a good job. Oswald, a great senior goalie. Tough to score on him. And look upfield. They got some transition coming down the middle of the field. It's Bryce Barnhill. Gives it off to Oswald. Down 2. Metzinger. Hat trick for Sam Metzinger. 20 goals on the year and ties this one up at 8.
You talk about creating offense. They're not beat right here. They're marked up. Defender slides, creates offense. 1, 2, and just a good hard shot. When you're in tight like that, you don't always have to change planes. But if you put some mustard on it, it's going to go.
It's Harris just shooting up the hash, high to high, doing a good job of hiding his stick head. Hard for Bass, the goalie, to locate. So we're back at the X, knotted up once again, this time 8-8, 5:40 remaining here as Pope tries to knock off Westminster from the ranks of the unbeaten. And Luke Jones pops that one back to himself. Good lift check there from Jones. Another transition opportunity. Gives it to Hadlow. Hadlow's going to step in. And a good eat there by the Westminster defender.
Shot by number 8, Chris Hadlow.
Big ground ball here. Let's see if someone can create transition. They do, but a whistle. And
every call is big now.
Every call is big. We'll see if the officials try to become part of the game or try to keep the game moving. Have to feel that out like a pitcher feeling out the strike zone.
5 minutes remaining here. Pope's just going to continue to run their offense. Maybe we'll get another triple overtime game.
Open set here for Lubbock. Metzinger with the ball in his stick. Metzinger 6 points on the evening. 3 goals, 3 assists. The leading goal scorer for the Greyhounds coming into the game, doing what he needs to do to help his team win. And nice look inside. Catch, finish. Great offense from Pope as a little two-man game got the job done. And number 28, Sam Borrell, buried that one home. And you see here on the replay, a little two-man game, just a little pick and roll, just like you'd see in basketball. Great job there by Tyson, coming off the pick, keeping his head up. They say in lacrosse, you come off the pick, you always got to look back.
Absolutely, being a multi-threat there, not just being able to shoot, but also being able to feed. Two-man game, the hardest thing to defend, one of the easiest things to run in lacrosse.
So back at the X, Pope up 1, 9-8, 4:52 remaining. Luke Jones trying to pick up a ground ball, and Matt Jones picks, not Matt Jones.
Johnson, that's Johnson. Another big ground ball. That's 2 ground balls in a row for him.
So Johnson picks it up. He'll swing it behind to Metzinger. And he'll move it on to Oswald. Pope leading 8-7. Now it's their turn to be patient with the ball on offense.
So now with 1 goal lead, 4 minutes left. Let's see if they start, trying to slow this game out. I mean, we said it was going to be a 1-goal game.
And down the alley, shot saved there by Bass. Good take there by the righty, Jack Raggets. And they'll reset it. Johnson on the other end of the field. He's defended by the pole, number 20. Sam Woodhouse, he's taking away his right hand, doing everything he can. And you see it right here. Johnson, very right hand dominant. He's going to work. And good hedge there from the Westminster defense. And low pass, going to be a turnover. Good defense there from Sam Woodhouse, knowing Johnson wants to go to his right and just not allowing him to get there.
Right, lacrosse IQ, I'm taking another minute and a half before I even start running any offense there. If they stall me, sure, I'll put the ball in Johnson's hands. He can run for days. He's so athletic. Let's see. Westminster's got to get another shot here.
And here goes Westminster again, beating the match feet ride with the guy coming out of the box, and they do pick it up. They need to get a quick touch, and they will. They get it over to Chase Williams.
Let's see. They got 1 timeout left, both teams. Or do they? No. Westminster has 1. Pope has 0, I think. We'll get the official count from the box.
1 timeout each remaining, as it reads on the scoreboard. So the early timeouts in the third quarter haven't come back to hurt either team too much. Pope leading by 1, 9-8 down the right alley. Look inside, shot. Ooh, I don't know. It looked like that hit the back of a Pope defender. DeVroe picks it up. His shot goes wide.
So right now it would have been good to have that second timeout in your back pocket. You can call one now and then call one later in the game if you need it.
So here they go on the restart. Up top, they give it to DeVroe. He tries to skip it down, and that pass was deflected. And
that was deflected. It should stay with the offense.
Westminster ball. Let's see if they're going to call interference.
They're going to have a conference here.
Looks like they're going to call interference on Lovett or...
Oh, man.
Excuse me, not Lovett, Pope.
Let's just hope they get this one right here.
Yeah, like I said, you hope the officials will try to stay out of the play and not make themselves too present. But with 2.5 remaining, this is going to be a big call. There's no flag, so it'll just stay possession, and it will stay with Westminster.
That's the right call.
So I believe they called an interference on Pope there because it was a loose ball. No flag was thrown. So Patton will restart it after the officials have a conference with one of the coaches. Looks like a coach from the Pope coaching staff, and he'll head back with an answer. Don't know if it's the one he was looking for, but...
Never is, right?
So out of the 14 now, Westminster run a couple different offenses. Down 1, 2.5 remaining. Patton with the ball. He's got a short stick on him. He's going to work top side. He's going to take a shot, and it's just high. Good take there from Patton.
I'm thinking about using that timeout right now if I'm in green.
So it looks like Pope's in a little bit of a zone here. A different look than we've seen from them most of the day. And shot wide. Big take there from Chase Williams.
If I'm 21, I'm getting that matchup again.
So here we go against the zone defense. 2 minutes remaining now. Pope gets the ball. They'll have to keep it in unless Westminster scores one. DeVroe's going to step in. Big shot. Wide, backed up there by Westminster.
Westminster down by 1, but still so controlled right now in their 6-on-6 offense. They're not panicking.
So they'll move it off the end line. DeVroe up top, over to Patton. DeVroe and Patton been the big offense. There's Williams, a high bouncer. But you talked about it, Williams. You know, even though it's a zone, he thinks he can get a good shot against the top right 3-3 of the zone.
Westminster, they just keep popping somebody off the crease up high. They got a 2-on-3 up top.
And here they do just that.
There he is right there, 2-on-3.
Step down opportunity. 3-quarter bouncer eaten up there by Oswald.
Minute 28 left.
And DeVroe will huge.
Big yard sale.
Uh-oh, transition opportunity here if they push. And DeVroe is going to pull it out. Let's see if Coach Souza decides to use a timeout.
There it is.
And he does. So with 1:16 remaining, Westminster down 1. They'll use a timeout. Come back for the last minute 16 of the AJO4 Lacrosse Festival here on Lacrosse Fire TV.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
And we're back here on Lacrosse Fire TV as you're seeing the Westminster huddle. They just used their final timeout, trailing by 1 to host Pope. The Greyhounds looking to knock off Westminster from the ranks of the unbeaten here in the finale of the AJO4Lax Festival. So we'll see what Coach Tony Souza has drawn up for his defending 5A state champion Wildcats to get them back tied up. I'm Ned Case alongside Connor Squires. We're glad you tuned in. You tuned in at a good time. Oh, but Patton can't quite get it. And Corby very patient there on the trail check.
And they committed. They went on defense. They did a full court press. Won the one-on-one defensive battle.
Timeout there from Pope. Interesting timeout from Pope. You know, minute 05 left, one timeout. You have to think you'd want to save it for when you get in trouble inside the box.
Yeah, well, you know what, the way this game's been going and everything's I mean,
Coach Pfaff's third quarter timeout, we criticized ended up in a goal. So.
And I do understand because, you know, they're trying to clear the ball and they're trying to clear the ball the right way. Mm-hmm. But the problem is they're not clearing the ball very well today.
Right.
So you got to think, you know, the ball's going to be up here on the 40-yard mark.
But and not just that on the 40, but on the defensive 40. They didn't even cross the midfield.
I mean, if they come in a 10-man, I mean, you got to think maybe just have an attackman in the low far corner. Just put your best athlete down there and maybe just, you know, keep the ball down there. It's going to be interesting what they do here.
So Pope 9-8 will have possession when they come out of the timeout. We'll have to clear it across the midfield and then get it in the box and keep it in.
Right, and that's your argument on the side of that timeout is now you give the other team a chance to set up, as when that right there was a broken ride.
So both teams out of timeouts, 1:05 remaining. Pope 7-1 leading undefeated Westminster. We see goalie Tyler Bass right there. He's played well.
Tell you what, if they can ride this back and they get a broken transition play, I got a feeling they're gonna tie it back up.
With DeVreau and Patton back there and those sharp sticks, and you know, Cope Harris kind of the third, not his name brand attackman, but he has 3 goals on the day for the Wildcats. So here we see it. Johnson's gonna pick it up. We've seen his ability to run past people. He's gonna get double teamed here by 2 attackmen, and a long pole waiting for him just on the other side of the 50. Wisely goes back to his goalie. He's going to want it back.
1 minute.
And Westminster doing a good job. He's got Johnson and a very patient clear there by Pope. He's got to step it in, and he will. He'll keep it in. Westminster will come to double.
He's an athlete.
And a good play there by Pope. So the ball's behind. They'll look to double. Bass is out of the goal, locking everyone off.
Oh, no, he threw it away.
Big turnover there from Pope. 35 seconds remaining. Chance for the Wildcats to tie this one up.
Pick it up and push it.
And they'll quickly get it to Bass.
Oh, wow,
Bass
that's
knows
a long
like
pass.
the field. What an outlet pass. Williams running in transition. He finds DeVreau.
Hitch
Right
step.
middle of the field, and
What a
Oswald with a huge save. 20 seconds. He's sent to the length of the field.
That's the right thing to do.
And that ball will go out of bounds.
12 seconds.
12 seconds remaining. And Westminster looking for the whistle. Still waiting for the whistle.
Official wants him on the back line here.
And
They got to give him 2 seconds back on the clock.
they should. There was 11.8 on the clock. And let's see what the officials, they're going to conference, and
This doesn't play in Westminster's favor because now they're going to be ready for the chuck.
so DeVreau had a chance, a nice hitch, got to the middle of the field, but we talked about it at the beginning of the game. Pope goalie Michael Oswald was going to have a huge game, and he has done that so far.
And Oswald, I mean, he was iffy at the beginning, but he really caught fire in the third quarter and going on. You know, they had to work for everything. If it was a doorstep goal, that's the only way they were scoring. He's been great outside.
So the officials talking to both coaches.
I've seen crazier things happen. March Madness. Let's see what they got.
So they put 12 seconds back on the clock.
That's enough time to run the ball down and run a quick little play. That's a lot of time. I would almost have a midfielder at the Pope line right now.
Yeah,
that's 12 seconds is a long time.
Pope's going to be man-to-man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They're going to leave the Metzinger looking for instructions from the sideline on who he should be picking up. Looks like he's going to split 2. Everybody else is man-to-man.
Maybe have Williams break to the midfield.
Got to be careful on this turf with this high hop.
Yep.
Throwing it to your zone could just bounce over the cage for a turnover.
18 seconds on the board.
Wow, that's 18 changes.
That's extremely
everything.
generous.
That changes everything you do. But neither team with the timeout. So we'll see what they create. Bass doing a good job of getting to the middle of the field for the quick outlet. He's going to catch it. He's going to look to go. A little early, a little premature to throw it the length of the field. And Bass, you know, we've spoken highly of him, and you hate to criticize a kid trying to make a play, but that was just not the right play at that time in the game. 10 seconds, a lot of time on the clock. And here is Pope. They will run it out.
That's going to be it.
And they will give Westminster their first loss of the year. And Pope will close out the AJO4Lax Festival with a win on their home turf, 9-8. Higher, you called it. You said I think it's going to be 8-7. Ended up being 9-8. Pope with just a few more stands at the end of the game in Westminster.
And right, it came down to clearing the ball. It's a tough situation when you're down one like that and you want to score. But, Westminster got their opportunities. But Oswald in the cage just proven to be the difference maker there. Westminster, they came back. They stormed back, four-goal deficit, went up one, went back and forth from there. Tip your hats to Pope for really staying composed when that was going on.
And these are two teams I would expect to see playing a couple weeks into May, making their championship runs. Of course, Westminster, we mentioned it, defending 5A state champions, and Pope, the defending 6A state finalist, coming up just short last year against Roswell. And we will present one final player of the game today. If I was a betting man, I would put it on Sam Metzinger. By my calculations, 3 goals, 3 assists, really all game, especially late in the game, had some big-time goals for the Greyhounds.
Right, a lot of team play today. Oswald too. Oswald too in cage. Oswald too in cage. But a team wins, a team win.
Right.
This award is great, it is impactful, it is meaningful. But a good team win by Pope here.
And, we talked about it, that Pope lost to Apex, the North Carolina Public School State Champion, by, a handful last week. But this week they get the Georgia defending state champions, and they do what they need to do to come away with a win here.
Right.
We will await the MVP honors.
Yeah, for as far as Westminster, it's a tough loss. I feel like they won a lot of things, just not really the scoreboard tonight.
Right.
Shooting became, they had a lot of good opportunities, good step downs that they didn't take advantage of. They were able to break the Pope defense. Sometimes it just comes out that way. I've been on both sides.
And it looks like we were both right, as this final game will end in co-MVPs.
Hey!
Goalie Michael Oswald, who stood on his head, including making a big save on Loyola-bound attackman Logan DeVroe late in the fourth quarter. And the attackman Sam Metzinger, 3 goals, 3 assists, doing what he needed to do offensively to get Pope this big 9-8 win. Thanks for tuning in all night here on Lacrosse Fire TV. All day and night, as we had 5 great games here at Pope High School in the AJO4Lax Festival. Thanks for joining me. I'm Ned Case along with Connor Squires. Be sure to tune in to Lacrosse Fire TV broadcasts all spring long.